If there's one unifying trait about Subaru Outback owners, it's that they love their cars. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that there's not room for improvement. And so Subaru approached 2020 with a few changes it wanted to make. There's a new engine, there's a new infotainment system, there's a whole new platform that this car is riding on. And now, CarGurus is pretty familiar with the Outback. We actually use one as a camera car for most of our videos. For the price, the Outback starts at just over $26,000. There's not many cars out there that can do as many things well as the Subaru Outback can. For instance, we're driving up a pretty mountainous road right now, plenty of potholes, and it's handling it just fine. Back to the point though, with the improvements that Subaru has made for the 2020 Outback, is this now all the car you'll ever really need? So let's talk about the engines. First, there's still a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. It's very similar to the one that Subaru was using in the last Outback. That said, it has been reworked. It's the 4-cylinder that you would find in a Forester. It gets a little more power, but more importantly, it also improves its fuel efficiency. Oops, sorry, as we bounce over some potholes. It now gets an additional mile per gallon in both city and highway driving for roughly 28 miles per gallon in combined driving. Most notably, however, the 3.6 liter H6, that's the horizontally opposed or flat 6 engine that Subaru had previously, has been replaced entirely with a 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. This came from the Subaru Ascent, their 7-seater SUV. It improves horsepower by about 4, and it adds 30 pound-feet of torque. So it has a total of 260 horsepower, 277 pound-feet. That's a big improvement. But more notably, again, is the fuel economy. So while the 3.6 liter would get you 20 miles per gallon in the city and 27 on the highway, this new turbocharged engine will return 23 in the city, 30 on the highway. Those are huge improvements. All of it's a huge improvement. And the 2.4 liter is a good engine. You know, the 3.6 liter flat 6, it was fun, it was cool. But I think at this point, we'll say that Subaru can leave the flat 6s to Porsche. And then there's the towing capacity difference. If you were to buy an older Subaru, or if you were gonna buy a naturally aspirated Outback, one of the ones with the 2.5 liter non-turbo 4-cylinder, you cap out at 2,700 pounds. That's not bad, but if you buy a Subaru Outback XT, one of the ones with the turbocharged engine, that number rises to 3,500 pounds. And that's the difference between towing a small aluminum boat and towing a couple of ATVs. We're now back in the Subaru Outback XT. This is a touring trim, and it's the most expensive Outback you can buy. I think starting price is right around $39,000, just under the $40,000 mark. And that feels like a lot, but you're also getting a lot with this car. Now, one of the things that you don't actually need to pay that much for is the incredible infotainment screen. This has the full 11.7-inch display, which is breathtaking. But fun fact, you can get that display all the way down in a premium trim, which is what we were driving earlier. Now, the display has big, clear buttons. It has easy to read font. It's incredibly straightforward. And if you don't like Subaru's Starlink infotainment system, which frankly is a really good system, you can still use Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now, both of those are also available on the dual 7-inch displays that you'll find in a base Subaru Outback. So the turbocharged engine won't exactly peel the paint back per se, but it will never leave you wanting more like that 2.5 liter 4-cylinder in the lower trims will. Instead, this is the type of car that's always gonna have you satisfied. You're always gonna feel like you're going as fast as you need to be going. You're always gonna have enough power to pass and to get on the highway. It's a really satisfying car to drive. Ask anyone considering a Subaru Outback and you're likely to hear two things: safety and cargo space. Now, safety is something that Subaru has always had at top of mind. The thing is chock full of airbags, including one below the driver's seat cushion, which will actually inflate if you're in an accident, lifting your legs up so that you can't slide through, down under the wheel, which is something that can genuinely happen. In addition to that, there's the eyesight safety system. Now this is kind of cool. So the highlight this year is automatic adaptive cruise control, that includes something called lane centering assist. Basically what this does is, rather than ping-ponging you between the lanes, it reads the road, it reads the car in front of you, and it very evenly keeps you in the center of your lane. Now, the best part about this is it works if you're going around a curve. So, we're driving on some pretty twisty roads, and I was able to engage this system, and not only was I being kept a safe distance from the car in front of me, but the steering wheel was literally turning with the road, keeping the car very evenly within the lane, and I had to do almost nothing. Now let's talk about that cargo space. The Outback has always had pretty impressive cargo capacity numbers, particularly because it's only a 5-passenger car, so there is no third row, meaning you have a nice deep trunk, even if the rear seat isn't folded. Now, if you do fold that, because it still maintains a lot of that station wagon form factor, you're able to access a lot more length when loading things into the car, rather than some vehicles that I think increase or inflate their total cubic feet numbers by offering a lot of vertical space. Thanks for watching. Is the 2020 Subaru Outback the right car for your lifestyle? Or will you be test driving one of its competitors instead? For more videos, subscribe to the CarGurus YouTube channel. We'll see you next time.